think we are live. Awesome. We are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to DGCentral Live. My name is Tori.
I'm Craig.
And today with us we have Scott Bresee, right? That's how you say it? I already butchered it again. Bresee, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Bresee.
Okay. Scott Bresee. And he is the inventor, the owner, co-owner, right? I think I read that, co-owner.
Co-owner, yes.
Maybe we'll talk about who the co-owner is here in a minute, but he's the co-owner of FlighTowel disc golf towels out of Oregon, out of Turner, Oregon, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Thanks for joining us on the stream. We're really glad to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited.
So, we just got some questions. We have a pretty laid-back vibe here, pretty conversational. We're just a couple of guys who really love disc golf and love to do whatever we can to grow the sport and help other passionate people, have an outlet to talk about it. So what I'm most interested in is where the idea for the FlighTowel, the original FlighTowels we'll talk about, because you now have the mini, the original FlighTowel, where did that idea kind of come at you from?
Well, I started playing disc golf, and I have some issues with my back, so I was trying to find a way to warm up, and I stumbled across the towel warm-up routine, and I thought that might be able to help me out there, because I kind of came from playing ball golf, and you always take a couple practice swings before you hit your ball, Yeah. So kind of having that mindset, I'm like, well, how do I do that? Because you can't really do that with a disc in your hand. It's going to fly out. So I just kept thinking about it, noticed a lot of towels laying on the ground,
Sure.
out on the courts, and then it just hit me, why not just take part of the disc and cut it up? And that was actually the first design I came up with, was that right there.
Really?
So it hasn't really changed much at all.
Cool.
So yeah, the need to warm up, the need to get loose before a round was really important to me. That drove it a lot. And then being able to put this little fob in your back pocket with the towel hanging out of there, it's quite convenient, and then it prevents towels from being left all over the disc golf course as well, which is nice.
I can't tell you how many times I've picked up towels.
Yeah.
Just hang them on the basket or wherever you find it, or leave it at the next tee, and then it sits out there, and you keep seeing it on the ground for another month or two. So, yeah, cool.
Sure.
I do want to know, kind of playing off of that. You said that first design, that design that is still what it is today, was your first design. Tell us a little bit about the manufacturing process and how you create the fob piece of it.
They just start out as a normal disc. I've gotten a lot of accounts with most of the major manufacturers, so I can offer those discs, and we're in talks with more right now. But it just starts out as a normal disc, and then I modify it a little bit. I add a support piece, and I don't know if you can see it right there.
Yeah.
Support piece gets added in and riveted in. I add a nice grommet on there so nothing tears out, and then I cut it all out by hand.
Wow. Cool.
Very cool.
So it's really a hands-on process for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, every step. I mean, I really enjoy the manufacturing process of it. That's kind of relaxing to me. You get in a good rhythm, and you just get moving with it. It's a great way to just, hey.
Almost forgot the beverage of the evening before we got started. So that would have been 2 weeks in a row we had missed it, Craig. So I got my my mason jar sweet tea. Craig, what do you got over there?
I'm just drinking good water here. Just good water.
Well,
good
water.
Yeah, not really, but.
What about you, Scott?
Yeah.
The mason jar of sweet tea, yes.
Hey,
Odd
kindred
man
spirits.
out.
There we go.
Odd man out.
Awesome.
So, Scott, you mentioned that you've got accounts with, big manufacturers in disc golf. You're not just getting just cheap discs from Walmart and making these. You're getting legit discs from big name manufacturers to make these, right?
Yeah, I am. We started out where it was, some DX plastic from Innova, because that was the cheapest I could get, and I was still, doing some testing and honing in the manufacturing process and all that. And then after I had it down, we started moving into premium plastic, and that's all we offer now.
Awesome. Is it something that if you don't have a specific mold that I want, is it something that I can reach out to you and say, hey, could you make one of these, say, out of like a Discraft Buzz or whatever? Is that something that you offer?
We do offer custom jobs. We can only do speed 7 and above.
Okay.
When you get down to a mid-range, they just don't have enough rim for me to get these rivets into.
Sure. Makes sense.
So it's not going to hold up, and I'm not going to put a product out there that isn't going to hold up.
Yeah, sure.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, we definitely do custom jobs. I do them every week. It seems like I have new ones coming in. I enjoy it's always something new to cut up.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That is really cool.
So from start to finish, you get, a box of discs in. What's start to finish time look like on how long it takes you to cut them and get them all produced?
Well, the cutting of the fobs, that's all one part of it. The other part of it is the towel, because I do a lot of sewing on that, and I do that all myself as well.
Okay.
So all these pieces take time to cut out. I would say into each towel I've got about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Wow, that's pretty quick.
Build time, 10, 15 minutes.
Very
So,
cool.
and I could probably cut that down, and I know I could probably automate some stuff, but I don't want to do that. I want them to be handmade.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. I mean, that was going to be one of my questions too, is, what kind of output are you talking about having the capability of, and are you looking to, expand and maybe automate, or, what having no familiarity with how you're actually going about the manufacturing process. I didn't know if that would even be possible, but I like that idea of, whatever comes, every single product that you're going to put out is going to be that handmade, made with care. Somebody's going to have touched it and crafted it just for the consumer. That's really cool.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Craig, did you have a follow-up to that at all?
No, I just was going to say, I picked up a towel from you recently, and when I got it, it just had that personal touch to it. I could tell that it came from somebody that did it themselves and actually cared, and it wasn't just a big manufacturer that was putting out thousands of towels and sending them to whoever, wherever. I could tell even just how it was packaged, and you threw the sticker in with it, and just, it's always cool to get something like that. For me anyway, it's always like a bonus, like, well, cool, I can rep this company that I believe in, that I want to support. I can put this sticker on, my truck or whatever, and help support them.
Yeah, that was important to me. I love getting stickers and just that little added touch when I purchase something. So I always want to do things like that.
Yeah,
sweet.
Cool.
So, Scott, is this your full-time job now?
This is. I mentioned I had a bad back.
Yeah.
It has kind of taken a lot away from me in life. One of them was a career I used to have. So I had to kind of come up with something I could do at home. So that was a big part of this as well. I'm always thinking and creating and inventing new things. So I had a lot of items. But once I got into disc golf, I knew it had to be disc golf related. So I really started thinking of what could I put out there that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
yes, I've turned this into my full-time job. And the co-owners, one of them is my wife. It's not her full-time job yet, but it will be very soon, hopefully. So we want to have her doing this as well full-time. And then we have two other owners as well that help out. Cool. Because I didn't want to do it all on my own. Why not do it with some of your good friends or people that you've worked with in the past?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That's really cool, man. That's you're doing the American dream. I mean, really, small business owner, you created something with your own thought, and now it's a real thing, and you're putting it in people's hands, and people are giving you their money. That's how cool is that? That's just that's an awesome
man.
thing.
Yeah, and you enjoy it. You get to do it every day, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
A goal of mine I had when I started playing disc golf was, I'd use the hashtag disc golf every day and disc golf is life. I wanted that to happen, and so if you work hard at it, and you're driven enough, you can make it happen.
Absolutely. And how cool it is too for you to be able to do that with your wife. Like you said, it's not her full-time job yet, but that's what you're moving forward to. Tell us a little bit about that kind of side of things, being able to do something potentially full-time alongside your wife. I mean, that's got to be pretty cool.
I'm really excited. We've been married for 20 years. So
wow. Congratulations.
We work along very well. We work together very well. We have 2 kids. Right now she's handling the sponsorship piece of it part-time. But when she comes on, she wants to get more into the manufacturing thing. And she'll come out and help too in the shop. She's really good at it. She gets down the processes really fast and then just duplicates it and just starts going. So
awesome.
Pretty cool. I love working with her. it's a lot of.
So you mentioned that she handles the sponsorship side of it. What does that look like for you guys? You guys sponsor players around the country, or what does that look like?
We do. We have almost 30 sponsored players now. It was really important to me to give back, right away. We're still a young company, so we can't give as much as we would like to, but it's getting there for sure.
Sure.
So yeah, we have about 30 sponsored players. We keep adding more each month, which is awesome. We plan to add about 12 more this year. So
Cool.
we're trying to do 1 month.
What is your selection process for that look like? Like, is it people that you have personal relationships with, or are you just looking for, a diverse group of people? What's kind of your mindset behind that?
Well, the first couple, it's always going to be somebody
Sure.
Somebody good at disc golf. You're like, hey, do you want to kind of help me out here?
Yeah.
So we did that. So locally, we have an awesome crew of people that represent us, but we quickly branched out too. And so we started looking at the hot spots for disc golf. And I mean, there's a lot of people that want sponsorship. So every day. So there's a lot of things that go into it. Amanda looks through it. She has a point system. She puts about an hour into every applicant. So a lot of times we're like, hey, have you got to mine yet? Well, she's got 30 in front of you.
Yeah.
So not yet. Definitely going to get to it. But she puts it on a rating system. She's very thorough with it. She wants to give everybody a fair chance. It doesn't matter if you're a pro, you're an AM, you're starting out. If you represent yourself well, if your social media is in order, if you're correctly branding yourself, which is very important. I mean, if you want a sponsorship, you have to be able to brand yourself. You have to have your social media in order. It's got to be clean. You can't be offending people.
Right.
Because someone's going to put their name on you,
Yeah.
Have
There's
to
a
represent.
responsibility that comes along with it on the part of the sponsored player.
Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into our sponsorship program, and Amanda does an awesome job with it.
That's cool. Very cool.
So you mentioned that you're a young company. I'd love to hear a little bit more of just, we've talked about kind of the conceptualization of the idea, but when you decided that you wanted this to be a company, what's the timeline look like on that? How young is young?
We've been in business a little over a year.
Wow.
Really been selling for about a year. I mean, I put the website together myself and things, but we didn't get it up and running, for a few months really well. So about a year old for selling online and at tournaments, things like that. But I started growing it. I didn't want to go into debt with it, so I grew it really slow. I would put everything I had into a disc order, and then I have to wait until I sell all those.
Yeah.
Put everything I have into another disc order and then a towel order too. So I've grown it really slow. I've kept the company out of debt, which is cool.
That's huge.
And I started it out. I mean, if I had an order for 3 flight towels in a day, I was kind of sweating. I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to make these? Now I'm doing runs of 100 at a time myself.
Awesome.
I just keep honing that manufacturing process so I can do it all myself.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's next for FlighTowel? If you had to say, what your big push, I know last year we read an article that you were featured in to kind of get a little bit of background on you and understand a little bit more about who you were and what your company was. And in that you spoke to the big push in 2018 last year was getting the Mini out, the FlighTowel Mini, which we haven't even really discussed yet, but is what Craig has now attached to his golf bag.
Yeah, right here.
So, yeah, really,
Perfect.
really unique. He actually, I was gonna try and get the photo to roll in for the stream, and I totally forgot. But it's actually, he compared it size wise to what was on his bag, and it's
from a big name manufacturer.
Yeah, and it's almost as big, and the fact that it just is hanging from the middle keeps it out of the dirt. It's like, that's duh. Why hasn't no one else done that? Right. It's such a great idea. So. But looking forward, 2019, was that big thing, or do you have any of that big thing, or are you just looking on expansion right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah. Maybe not putting you on the spot to announce anything, but maybe even just a goal that you have for the year, something.
I tend to not have goals, honestly.
Okay.
I'm just riding it out, you know?
Sure. Fair enough.
You never know what's going to happen in life.
Yeah.
So I try not to make these big goals. I just make every day better than the last one and enjoy myself and have fun doing it. And it seems like new opportunities pop up for us every week with this company. It's awesome.
That is
Between people wanting different sponsorships and working with different companies, things like that. The stuff that we're going to be doing product-wise, I can't really talk too much about that. But there's several things in the works right now. Company-wise, we get a lot of requests for free products, so we kind of wanted to start putting that to good use. So we're going to come out with the FlighTowel food drive program. It's almost like a virtual type food drive where people can donate, and then they have an opportunity to win something at a tournament that we donated our products to.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So it helps out everybody. It's a win-win. It's a way to give back. I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we want to really start giving back as much as we can this year.
Well, the whole premise of this podcast, Tori and I are far from professional disc golfers. We're just two guys that love disc golf and want to help grow the sport any way we can and help promote any person or business that we can. And any way that we can help you out, we're more than happy to do that. You sound like you've got an awesome thing going, and any way that we can help you out, just let us know. We'd be more than happy.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, being on your guys' show is great. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, by way of just talking about young things, this is a very young podcast. We're really just getting our feet wet. We had a background on us. I don't know if you even know kind of where we came from before this, but we had when I lived in Central Michigan. I now live in Southeast Texas, and Craig is up in Central Michigan. We had we made a run at having a little disc golf retail store of our own, and then life just kind of happened, and plans were starting to come into place that we were going to move down here to Texas, and so we decided that maybe that wasn't the best idea to try and run a company from halfway across the country. But we still have that passion, the same passion that we had, that we were going to try and do with a retail store, which is to create a community and a kind of a centerpiece for the disc golf community at large in our area, which is still a pretty thriving community. We've just decided that we'll try and make that virtual. So that's kind of our thing is that we want to grow the community of disc golf as best as we can. So,
And Tori said that life kind of happens, and we decided it wasn't best. The truth is, running a small business is tough, especially today. It's tough. What's some advice that maybe you would give somebody that maybe is in your shoes a year ago, 2 years ago, that wanted to have an impact and do disc golf every day, like you said? What's something that you would give them some advice on going forward?
Just grow it. Let it grow naturally. Just steady progression. I see companies that try to take these big leaps and they go into a lot of debt. And I mean, my career before this, I wasn't dealing in, $20 orders. I was dealing with $1 million type things, budgets and such. So this is smaller to me, but I run it all the same way. You just don't have to get too quick, too big. Or too fast, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Cool.
That's good advice. We probably could have used that ourselves.
Yeah. Cool.
Sweet. So I guess kind of wrapping up, this is maybe should have been the first question, but we kind of heard a little bit too from you. Something that Craig and I have been talking about lately when it comes to disc golf, something that I think makes it unique is that everybody seems to have a story, a disc golf story. There's guys that they go and they play men's league at the country club on a Wednesday night because that's just what guys do. They go play ball golf and that's normal. But because Discraft is more niche, you really have to find it.
Disc golf, not Discraft. But yes.
Disc golf, yeah, sorry. Because disc golf is more niche, Freudian slip. Because disc golf is more niche, you have to find it and you have to seek it out. And there's always a moment when you get it, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a sport. This is something that I can be a part of my life. So what was that moment like for you? What's your disc golf story?
Ooh, my disc golf story. I was at a low point. Like I said, I was playing ball golf, and my back had gotten to the point where I just couldn't play anymore. After a round, I couldn't walk. So it was pretty bad.
Wow.
My brother-in-law had some issues as well with his back. He's like, hey, I play disc golf. You should come check it out. It probably wouldn't hurt you. And so I went and checked it out. I had my Franklin starter set from Walmart.
Yeah.
And I went out there and started chucking those and instantly hated it. Because it just went right into the ground every time. And here, try this. And he hands me a DX Beast. And that's what hooked me right there. I threw that disc one time, and it did what I wanted it to do.
Yep.
And I was hooked right then. I actually turned that into one of the first FlighTowels, so I get to carry it with me. So
that's awesome.
That is a
really
story.
Cool. Yeah.
That's
so yeah. And then it's getting into the disc golf community. Everybody is just so amazing. I don't know how I didn't know it existed before.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing. You just want to immerse yourself in it, and create that disc golf is life for yourself,
For sure. That's exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about everybody has a disc golf story. You have a moment that you can point to. For me, it was with a Stratus X, and the first time I threw a hyzer flip, and I got kind of wide eyed, like, whoa, that was different. That was something cool. Then I started throwing that shot and out driving all my friends who were a lot more athletic and skinny than me, and that was a fun 6 months while I had that going for me, and then they caught up. But cool. Well, Scott, thanks so much for coming on. We've really enjoyed having you on. Where can people find you to get a hold of some of your products?
You can find us at www.flighttowel.com. And then we also offer tournament orders. We can do bulk orders, and that's handled by one of our owners, Scott West. He does all the creative design and gets those orders done, so we can do custom prints on the towels, things like that. And then if anybody's interested in wholesale, we can do that too. Grant Nixon heads that up for us.
Awesome.
So we can get people. Our website's capable of wholesale as well now. We just recently did that. So if anybody's interested in that, have the deal.
Yeah.
Super cool.
So if any listeners are to go onto your website and purchase a towel, is there any sort of a discount code maybe we had talked about a little bit?
Yes. If you type in Disc Golf Central, all caps, that will get you 20% off until Friday midnight.
Perfect.
Pacific.
Cool. Awesome. We will drop your website, your Instagram, your YouTube, and your Facebook page all in the description in this video. So if you're watching this later, it's already there. Go jump on it and go get yourself a flight towel, because they are awesome. I'm gonna go buy 2 of them like right now. So.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Scott. This is a great time. We really enjoyed having you on. Everybody out there, go show some support for somebody who's really putting their heart and soul into the disc golf community. Once again, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Take it
Thanks,
easy.
guys. You too.
Thanks, Scott.
What a guy.
There you go, man. That was a story. I mean, that's what it's about, I guess. It's
100%.
just a guy that wanted to make a difference, and here he is.
Yeah, 100%. And to have it kind of be something that was almost out of necessity too, like the just the fact that the back injury was holding him back from being able to play regular golf, ball golf, whatever you want to call it, and then also kind of disrupting his ability to do work, and now he's remedied both of those things with disc golf and FlighTowel. I mean, that's awesome.
It was better than I was expecting. I mean, I figured it was a small business this guy was running, or not a small business, but a business he was running at his house, and was not expecting a cool story like that. So
yeah, I mean, it sounds like they have huge volume. I mean, they're doing a ton of orders, it sounds like, and to have 30 sponsored players a year into full business. Holy smokes. Like, talk about killing the game. That guy's
like I said, this thing is like this mini that I got it's just so crafted so well. I mean, I don't know that you can see that or not, but it's just every part of it, the detail is just there, and you can tell that he cares about the product he's putting out. So I'll definitely be back. I'll definitely be buying and spreading their name and encouraging people to go there.
Yeah, I saw. I was just poking around the site earlier today, and they have some made out of an Avenger, and I used to throw an Avenger, so that's probably the one I'm gonna line up.
Yes.
So, all right.
Cool.
Well, for our second segment of the evening tonight, we've got our good friend. We discussed this at the end of last week's show. We've got our good friend, Mr. Dan De Jong, former
Dan De Jong.
Central Disc Co. team member.
Hey, he still is sponsored by us. If he'd ever play in a tournament, maybe we would send him some stuff, but he never does.
What, some stuff from some stuff out of your bag? Because I'm not sending him any of mine.
Like some old pencils or scorecards or something.
The towel that you just replaced with your flight towel.
Pack of gum, a tin of chew from 3 years ago. I don't know. Whatever.
All right. Well, I'm going to add him to the call, and we will.
Let's get him on here.
We'll get him on.
Everybody's sitting on the edge of their seat wondering who this Dan guy is that we hype up like he's some pro disc golfer, and
he's
going to come on there and be like, this guy. Yeah.
So let's get him on.
See you calling him here on the.
Hey.
Hey, there he is. I hear you, Dan.
Come on, Dan.
Do you see me?
Gotta hit the camera.
All right, are we coming through? Hey.
Oh, sorry. There he is.
There's the man himself, Fairway Dan.
Fairway. There it is.
I got you guys full screen right now. This is crazy.
Full screen. That's big time.
I've got your nickname on the screen right now in quotes. Fairway Dan.
Stop.
Oh boy.
That's awesome.
What do you
take that away. Just put up
sent down to the basement? You gotta do
I'm
this in the basement?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I got.
Dad life is hard.
Yeah, I got the kids right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Dan, what is your beverage of the evening?
Right now, I've got a cup of tea because it's freezing down here.
Not sweet tea.
I've got
close enough.
I've got an
there's sugar in
iced tea.
it.
I've got an
And
iced tea because it's hot where I
This
live.
is for after, once I'm warm.
Is that a La Croix?
La Croix.
A La Croix?
It's a La Croix.
I had they keep La Croix in the refrigerator at work, and I tried to drink one the other day, and I got 2 sips into it, and I poured the rest down the drain. I don't know how anybody drinks that crap.
And then sent me a picture of how crappy it was.
I will tell you this though, I've been digging the White Claw, the spiked seltzer.
Oh my
I've heard
God.
that's
That
really
I
good.
can do. That I can.
Basic.
Some White Claw, man. You gotta rep
Even
the
your
claw.
Pumpkin spice latte and your
No,
Uggs.
it's all about the lime claw, baby.
Okay.
It's good
Claw.
stuff.
Never
So
heard of
Dan,
that.
welcome to the stream. Be honest, have you watched any of our streams prior to this one?
I actually have.
Okay, all right.
Not the entire thing. I'll be honest. Not the entire thing.
That's
But
okay. We'll let it slide. But we were just talking with Scott.
I saw that.
And I'm not even going to try and pronounce
FlighTowel?
his last name because I've already forgot. But yeah, the flight towel, he's killing it, obviously. But we
That was
talked
pretty
about his disc golf story, and he had a pretty cool one. You and I's disc golf story is actually probably pretty similar, but maybe a little bit different. So you want to hit us with your disc golf story and how you got into disc?
Yeah, we both have a friend, Sam Prout.
Yep.
And he said, "Hey man, let's go disc golfing." And I was like, "Oh yeah, frisbee golf. I love that."
Yeah.
Which obviously it's not frisbee golf, but
Right.
we
We both knew frisbee golf in our minds from Taylor University.
TU.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had when a pack of 30 guys would go roam across campus with ultimate frisbee discs and keep accidentally throwing them into the pockets of girls tanning on the grass to meet some ladies. That was the whole point of frisbee golf, was just to go out there and parade around campus. And I thought it was stupid because everybody on my floor called it frolf, and when they said that, I wanted to gouge my own eyes out. So when Sam asked about if I wanted to go play disc golf, I was like, no I don't. And then he threw at did he have the Aerobi Epic?
Not yet. No. All he did was throw. He just threw overhand. I think it was a Valkyrie. I think it was an old Valkyrie,
and it was
and
bananas.
he just
in my
crushed it.
my life
Threw the
has never been the same.
furthest I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Overhand by far.
But now he's old and can't throw because he has a rotator cuff issue or something like that.
Yeah, if
right?
you watch this, Sam, you're an old man. You can't. I'm sorry, man.
Something tells me Sam won't be watching this.
Hey, you never know. It could happen.
Sam doesn't even know about it, so it is what it is.
It's all
Yeah,
right.
but
We do
anyways,
we
he
do
took
owe
me-
him though for getting us into disc golf. That is for
He
sure.
did. He took me disc golfing on hole what we bought a starter pack from MC Sports
Yeah, like
And
that day.
that day. And right off the first tee, he's like, "You're gonna want to throw like a putter and like throw it over to the right." And I'm like, "No, man, I got this." So I took it was a rainbow. It started with an S.
Starfire.
Mm-hmm. Took one of those. I chucked it, threw it about 50 feet in the water to the left. So, lost my very first disc. But I was hooked. From day one.
Because you wanted to be able to throw and not have that happen.
Yep.
I got lucky and I bought the Discraft one, and it had that Stratus X in it I was talking about, and that thing was just like Flip City, not Flip City, the course, but it just would flip, and that's how that happened. And then a couple years later, both of us were involved in introducing Craig to disc golf.
In a thunderstorm.
And it snowed.
It didn't snow. It was in the middle of summer.
Didn't it snow at the end?
No, it was downpouring rain the entire time.
Who did we go with that it snowed at the very end?
You guys were like, let's go play disc golf. Let's teach Craig. Okay, this is going to be awful. But it actually wasn't. It was awesome. And you didn't start me on hole number 1, so I didn't throw it in the water.
Yep.
So it was good. No, I think we started on 16. So it was just in fields.
Okay.
But you guys made me buy a starter pack, but also made me buy a Buzz, which was the best thing that could have ever happened. I bought a Z Buzz, and that was like the only disc I threw for a long time.
And now it's on your hat.
Now it's on my hat. It's on my water bottle. It's on my disc I'm holding in my hand. It's everywhere.
It's on your truck?
Not on my truck. Was on my truck. Yeah. Not anymore.
You don't have any stickers on your truck.
I have a Realtree sticker, and I have a Disc Baron sticker. Shout out to Jake Stahl in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
There you go.
Go check him out.
The Baron. Yeah.
Baron.
He is an awesome guy. That he's killing it too. Speaking of people that are killing it in the disc golf world.
Yes.
But,
So Dan, you got into some controversy on our Instagram last night, I hear. I never actually saw
I respect Tori. Did you see me respond back to that guy?
Yeah, I screenshotted the notification because I knew you would delete it.
I got rid of it because I'm like, my word.
Funny thing is,
I was like, I can't get in an argument with this guy.
The funny thing is, you said Paul McBeth got top 4 in the first 2 tournaments, and he definitely got like 10th on Sunday.
Well, here's the thing. When I made that comment, I saw he was in the final 9, so I figured it was just the last 9 holes.
The last 4.
Top 4. So that's why I didn't even
We had this conversation, Craig and I had this conversation, like, I thought it was over after 3 rounds. I didn't even know there was going to be a 4th round.
Yeah,
I did.
Back however many years ago, it seems like no disc golf went the full weekend like the way ball golf tournaments do.
Thursday through Saturday.
Yeah. But not anymore, I guess. Moving on.
So anyway.
I deleted that comment pretty
quick.
So
anyway, you were fanboying the Luna a little bit.
I was.
And do you care to defend that statement at all, or? I mean, you saw firsthand crappy disc golfer like me throw the Luna this weekend, and you yourself got to throw it. So, what do you have to say to Tori about the Luna right here on the show?
Make me a believer, because I'm so deep in Team Challenger that I'm entrenched, man. And if it's not a Challenger, it's a soft magnet, because my boy Jay Moldenhauer hooked me up with soft magnets like 3 or 4 years ago, and I've never looked back. So it's going to take some convincing.
All I know is that I got to throw it, twice? Once?
I think you only threw it once. But don't make it sound like I would not let you throw it at any time.
No, but every throw, you know how consistent. I mean, Craig's pretty consistent from anywhere inside 150.
Anywhere inside like 5 feet, he can make it.
No, I'm saying as far as like getting it up near the basket.
Yeah.
And there was not one throw that was like online every time. But then I threw it once, and I would say it's almost like a Challenger, except I prefer my Challenger to be more price stable. And I feel like the one I have in my bag is a flex, and it flips super easy. And this one was just super. I mean, it probably helps that it's super stiff.
This is my
20
Challenger.
Degrees out, so
yeah.
CT.
Who signed that?
Super. Guy by the name of me, professional disc golfer.
You should put that on an auction site and see what that goes for.
See if I can convince people. It's I don't even know who
it's Paul McBeth's signature.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like any professionals.
Freshly signed Paul McBeth this year.
Somebody would buy it.
No, so anyway, Dan threw the Luna one time off the tee on a 500-foot hole and aced it. And
No. I threw it once from about 200 feet out and put it right under the basket.
literally,
I was pretty
hit the
impressed.
pole.
It was pretty sweet, but
It is a taco.
it's tacos.
Yes.
So
We were
That's
actually
just my-
talking about when we played, when Dan putts, his putter is like just so wobbly out of his hand because it's
Flutters.
just so.
Because
It's just so old.
It can't keep a consistent form. Just
But
naturally, you can hold.
with
it
that
with
being
your
said,
arms.
Dan's got to be the most consistent putter, if not the second most consistent putter that I know. So I guess if it works, I mean, don't switch it up.
Ever since
So-
you went to that Nico,
I've-
one
I've
leg
pressed-
out straddle,
I
Seriously.
give all credit to the Nico straddle.
yeah, it's worked for you since like 2012. So
Yeah.
must be doing something right. Me, on the other hand, I have to change the way I putt every season because I forget how in the winter months, and then I have to change everything and
You
start.
have
all
no
over.
excuse this year.
I know,
You got the
and my putter's working better than it ever has. I mean, it's February, and normally by this time I'm trying to find a new putter to throw so that I can have some confidence again.
Yeah. That's the thing. I change my stance and my putter about weekly. So it's the Luna this week. Next week, who knows what it'll be? I mean, I will say I like the Luna a lot for upshots, but I'm still not sold on it for actually putting.
Yeah, you like
Yeah,
the Roach,
wow.
right?
I like the Roach. I like the Jawbreaker Roach. I actually just bought one last night and was texting Tori about it because there are limited edition runs that I already have one. This is terrible, but just got the small Roach on
Oh,
it.
my word.
I wanted another one because this one came out purple. My whole bag is pink. So, of course, when they said they were going to launch more last night, I had to get on. And if you were on during that time, it was slower than molasses. Like, it couldn't do anything.
Sun King, Marshall Street, what was
Sun
it?
King disc,
Yeah.
yes. So was able to get the one I wanted though. It's should be here this weekend. I'm pretty pumped.
Nice.
Thinking about it now, I would say almost the Luna throws, the way it throws, almost throws like a wizard. Mine, I don't think it has a bead. Does it?
No, it does not.
I'd
I've
say
heard
it's
that.
almost like a wizard then without a bead.
Yeah, I've heard that comparison actually quite a bit. I've never thrown a wizard, so I don't know, but it does. It throws a lot like a Roach. It finishes a little harder left than a Roach. A Roach seems to be a little more straight, but who knows?
And do you still bag a Prodigy P2? Do you still bag one of those?
P4.
P4. Oh,
Yeah.
my mistake.
Is that the green one? You
No,
threw that
see,
one.
It's a yellow one. That,
Oh,
that
what
was
was
a
that
zone. I have
A
a yellow Crystal Flex zone and a blue zone.
No, you were throwing some Prodigy, like greenish colored disc this weekend.
Oh
You th-
no, that was a D2.
Oh, you threw it a ton. No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that
my-
Pink
that's
Destroyer
my
still in your
forehead.
bag?
Pink Destroyer.
No,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
lost
the faded.
Oh, I
no, the
thought you
faded
lost
pink.
it.
No, the faded pink. It's still there.
No, you lost to that Deerfield, and we had to look for it for like 40 minutes, and then we ended
And
up
we
finding
found
it.
it. We
Remember
found
that?
it.
Because it's a freaking
hole.
magic disc.
I almost wept.
15, the hole that you throw over the water. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I
We
don't
did
think
kick
I
that-
was there when
kick that
you
deer
lost
up.
it.
Dan was there, and Sam maybe was playing with us.
Yeah, I thought I lost it.
It wasn't that long ago. Damien, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember who all was there, but I remember kicking a deer up during that.
Yep.
Yep.
Craig and I
So-
just learned, speaking of losing a destroyer and how heartbroken you would be, Craig and I both learned today
Yeah.
from a video that we saw on YouTube that was 26 minutes long describing all the different types of destroyers that Innova has. And there's about 10 different molds that are all called destroyer. He goes through and he does measurements, like he takes pictures with a little rivet sitting on the wing so you can see that some
Yeah.
of them have like an L-shaped wing and some of them are actually like convex.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm pretty sure I have the Destroyer Vulcan mix.
yeah, the Distrolkin.
And
Yeah.
it's incredible.
The Distrolkin. It was like one of the last lines of Avery Jenkins destroyers before they put Paul's name on it, I think.
Yeah.
And they were for sure not like any other destroyer that was out there. They were super flippy. But he went through the 2-line AJs, the 3-line AJs. I think is it 1 or 2? Is it 1 and 2 or 2 and 3? I don't even know. It doesn't matter. But he went through both of the AJ runs. He went through the new Ricky Wysocki runs, and he went through the Macbeth 4-time runs. And each one of them had like at least 4 different types
I was gonna say,
run.
even just the Wysocki ones that just came out had like 3 or 4 different runs.
Yeah, it was
That's how he ended up finding it. Is he went and picked up 3 Wysocki discs right when they came out, and then just started looking at them, and they're all different. So
and then he does
it's pretty crazy.
A throw comparison with them, and some of them flip completely, and some of them are just meat hooks, and there's like 100-foot difference between the distance.
Yeah,
That's so weird. That's so weird.
So that's the secret to Dan's game right there. Is if he would have gotten one of the bad runs, maybe he wouldn't be as good.
I don't know what I throw.
I don't know, because I've had one destroyer my entire life, which my arm strength shouldn't even be looking at destroyers. But when I was first into disc golf, I didn't know that, and I knew that Dan threw a destroyer, so I should throw a destroyer. And it was so meat hooky that I even gave it to Dan at one point, and he was like, "Yeah, this isn't going on my bag because I don't like this. It just turns straight left." So that's my experience with destroyers. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have nothing else to.
I had one bottom stamped AJ destroyer that
was sweet.
It was a cool disc, but it sucked.
Yeah.
It was one of the stable ones. It was one of the super overstable ones. And then I had a pop top Echo Star destroyer that had the Team Phoenix stamp back when like Phoenix made like the nice quad straps for the old style bags.
Yeah.
And they had I just found it at CMU course on hole 18 one day, and it was like the pop toppy, and it had a little bit shallower of a wing, and it was actually one that I could throw. It was like my overstable one until I started bagging a force. So
nice.
So Dan, did you know that you have a PDGA number?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
trying to make
When
sure
was the last time you dusted it off? Like 20.
The last time I had it was actually active.
Yeah, it hasn't been current since 2012.
That was the last time I won at the Open.
That was the year. That was the last time we played the Gratiot County Open, and that was when you won and got your berth to state.
That was kind of a shock.
Wasn't a shock to me. I knew you had it in you.
Yeah, it was weird.
I remember posting it on Instagram. Your boy and mine, Mr. Dan De Jong, taking home the win.
Right, because you were 3.
Yeah.
I finished 4th or 5th or something like that. I didn't do great, but
Sam left.
Sam left? Did he really?
Yeah.
You didn't even finish the round?
He was
I
mad.
did not recall that.
What?
No,
You didn't finish the round?
No, he finished. He started.
He didn't stay to support you getting your trophy?
No, he said sorry. I remember he said sorry afterwards because he was just fired up.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he was on the card behind me because we both were almost tied heading into round 2, and he got caught up on hole 12, which is just the worst hole.
We talked about that hole when we did our hole by hole.
It can be. Or it can be like your best friend. If the other guys in your group can't get down the fairway and you do somehow, then it's your best friend.
I was thinking about that hole today. It's gonna get in my head between now and
it's gonna be terrible
when we actually play.
Yeah,
but, it's gonna get in my head for sure. We got to get out there for a practice round before the.
Here's the thing with that hole: would you rather start on 12 round 1, or would you rather like hit it mid round or last?
I'd rather start with it.
Get it over with.
Yeah, because I think that year I won it. I think I started on 12 because I finished on 11 because I know I was up 1 stroke on 11. It was when there was trees around the hole when it was way shorter.
Yep.
And I knew all I had to do was throw it into the trees and it dropped next to the basket and I won.
Yep.
So I started on 12 and I think I got +2, and then you can just kind of work your way down the rest of the way through the course. So.
Yeah, I get it. I think I would rather start on like any of the first 5 holes and try to get a birdie to get some confidence going and just get it dialed into throwing straight and hitting your line for sure.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about it on your first throw. But it really doesn't matter because anytime you come across it, it's going to suck. So
Yes,
it is. But
you just kind of have to block.
If I had the option, I would definitely want to start on that hole just because you get it out of the way for one. And there's not a ton of birdie opportunities, after that, but there definitely are some. I mean, you could get a birdie on the next couple of holes for sure. You could make the turn at 18, 3-4 down pretty easy, and then you've got kind of that mid stretch to really start torching some holes. And I just think in terms of myself, for mojo, and freaking about having to push and rack up birdies because I'm going to blow it all on hole number 12.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah. If you're not sitting at 4 under going into 12, not good.
Yeah.
So what are you saying, Dan? Are you previewing my Gratiot County Open score this year? Like, what are you gonna be saying when I'm sitting at like 5 over going into 12?
You'll be fine.
That's why we're playing AM3, Craig.
Listen, dude, my tournament record it's not on my side here, so just out there to have fun and make some buds.
Am I gonna get in trouble if I play AM3?
Probably. Well,
not with a PDGA number that's not current and hasn't been in 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah. Not gonna say anything.
They're not going to do anything.
Oh, wow.
However, if you play in the Sleepy Hollow tournament in a few weeks and you kill it, and then you're not going to play AM3.
It's true.
There's a legit chance you're not going to play AM3 because even if you score well at Sleepy Hollow in a B tier, you're going to get a pretty good highly rated round, and I don't know, maybe not.
They just today did a ratings update, so the odds of having another one between now and then are pretty low. I don't know what the rating schedule is, but
I don't
either.
But
if I did decent at Sleepy Hollow, but it's like a 3-month gap, isn't it?
Pretty much
between Sleepy Hollow and I'm probably not going to be playing much in between then.
February 9th to May 4th, so.
Yeah, and the weather looks gnarly next weekend.
Maybe you just don't play in the Sleepy Hollow, and then that helps your chances for Gratiot County Open.
Because Craig's not playing.
Craig, you're not going to play in
it. We'll talk about it off air, but there's a good chance. I could back out. You never know.
Is your wife not wanting you to leave either?
No, she doesn't have a problem with it.
Okay.
But
it's going to be cold.
It's supposed to keep snowing, and it's supposed to there's ice on the tee pads right now, according to the website. So I don't really want to pay to go do that. I mean, I'm all for supporting disc golf and that, but I can support it in the warmer months when I can actually throw off the tee pad and get some distance and not
do the splits and pull your groin or something, some catastrophic injury.
Fall down and have a mouse crawl out of the snow under your leg. I never showed Dan that. Speaking of hole 12, oh no, that was hole 11. So 2 weekends ago, Dan, I was playing at Reed, and I was on hole 11, and I chucked it forehand and slipped and fell flat on my face and was recording myself throwing a forehand. And all of a sudden, a mouse crawls out from under the snow. I'll send you the video. Crawls out from under the snow onto my leg, and I looked down, and I was like, oh, God, what was that? And I flung it off, all while being recorded. So it's pretty cool. I'm sure it'll make its way on social media or something.
We're going to get it on the stream next week for sure.
It's good. That might be our new intro.
I think.
Be our new intro.
You get that as a viral video, you guys will have your podcast set.
Well, Mickey Mouse. Cool. Well,
anything else we want to talk about, boys?
Dan, what are you throwing in your bag? Are you an Innova guy? Are you a Prodigy guy? Are you a Discraft guy? MVP? What do you got going on in there?
Dude, I got a mixed bag.
You got the Feldberg bag going on.
I've got, seriously.
Yeah.
You should sponsor me, Feldberg. I mean, hey.
Next Gen Disc Golf.
I think
Dan,
he hasn't played a tournament in 6 years.
Dan
I've
also
got 2 Prodigy. What was that?
I was going to say Dan also is one of the only disc golfers left in Michigan without a backpack bag. I mean, his bag actually probably holds more discs than mine, and I actually like those bags quite a bit.
The old tourney bags.
Yeah, but people probably look at Dan when he shows up to the course and is like, "Oh, this guy's not gonna be good," and then he just kills him. So
no, exactly the opposite.
He cares.
When you see somebody that has one of those like freaking feeding
Retro
trough tourney bags, you know that they've been playing disc golf for longer than the last 5 years, and they are actually probably pretty good.
It's true. I mean, I know Dan's good, so what's the matter?
The guy that scares me the most when I show up to the disc golf course for a tournament, which has been exactly 4 times in my life, is the guy who has one bag, like the little like weekender bag, and just has like 3 molds and 6 discs. total.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because you know that and when you can tell that they've been used and they're not like brand new, you know, and it's like an old bag falling apart, or like the nut sack, the little like Carhartt material nut sack.
Yep. Yep.
Dude, the guy I played the second round at Deerfield with, he had just like a Walmart plastic sack with his lunch and his discs.
Drawstring bag.
No, like Walmart, like plastic, like gets caught on a tree and rips a hole in it. He's screwed. Like he's got to carry his lunch and everything. So I don't know. I thought about offering to give him one of my old, you know, the little Discraft. I don't even know what it's called, but holds like 5 discs.
A weekender
but
or something like that.
He legit only had like 5 or 6 discs, and he was pretty good. But anyway, Dan, what do you have in your bag? You started to say you got 2 Prodigy. Something.
No, I've actually got 3. I've got an X1, a D1, a D. I'm pretty sure it's a D2. My Destroyer.
Is it the D4 that I had? Is it the blue one?
No, it's green.
Oh, because I don't know whatever happened.
The one I asked him about, and he was like, "Oh, that's my D2," and he threw it on.
No, it was the one you found. You found it at Reed, and you didn't want it or something.
Oh, I'm gonna need that back from you. So you got some Prodigy. What else you got in there?
Man, I'm trying. After those 5, I think I go straight to. I think it goes Thunderbird. I have that Insanity, which is what is that? Axiom. Is it Axiom?
Yeah, you do have that. I was gonna say that you didn't have any MVP, but you definitely do. Well, it's Axiom, but it's the same. Yeah, you got that Insanity.
And I threw that. I actually threw that almost every time off the tee on Saturday in the snow because it's super flippy.
And it started getting really windy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got a River, which I found. It's got a really cool stamp on it. I've got T-Bird. And then from there, I'm pretty sure I go into my mid-rangers, which is almost all Discraft. 2 Wasps, 2 Hornets, 2 Buzzes, and then into my putters.
I need to get a Hornet. I always forget about the Hornet. I need to get one of those because I'm like Dan's frozen.
Dan, he said it was cold here, so I don't know. Could be because he's in his basement and doesn't have any service.
Did we totally lose him?
I don't know.
We might have completely lost him because I can't even hear him. Yep, he said I lost you.
Well,
let's get him back and then we'll land this plane.
He started talking about Discraft and the disc golf guy shot him down. I guess something happened there.
We'll get him back on.
Come on, Fairway Dan.
Says he's here.
I see you took the fairway off of his name on the stream.
I did, yeah. We're not going to rip him too hard about that. It was high school.
It was like 10 years ago.
I don't know if we're going to get Dan back here, folks.
Come on, Dan. Dial Up Dan is what his new name is.
Dan De Jong is unavailable.
Dial Up Dan.
Try one more time, and then I'm just going to tell him he's out of luck.
Yep.
Yep, unavailable.
Come on, Dan.
Well, that is a bummer. But we'll just go.
Regardless, I mean, it was a good show. I learned a lot about Scott and about FlighTowel, and hopefully you guys go check them out. Go buy their stuff and support small businesses.
That was pretty easily my favorite interview we've done so far. I mean, having Chip on was awesome, and having Cam last week for sure was cool. But like that guy, you can just tell that he's a passionate dude who is pumped about what he's putting out, and he's putting out something that is unique and cool. I mean, who wouldn't want that? If you see it, you want it. Like that's my opinion.
Yeah, safe to say. I'm definitely gonna go order one of the regular size ones right now. I think the mini one is cool to have on my bag, but I would not mind having one of the full size ones. And supporting Scott.
Yeah. Dan says he wants to round out his bag. He's got the Hornet, he's got the Wasp, which I was saying is what I needed because I have a flipping problem with my buzzes right now. I'm flipping them over. But then he goes to his putters. He's got 3 Wizards. He's got that PA4. He's got 2 zones, and he's got the Challenger. So that is
and 6 Lunas that he just bought.
Yeah,
actually,
truck full of Lunas that he's gonna buy and resell for $25 because everybody's a fanboy and wants them.
Oh yeah, that's the truth. That's why I have 2 Lunas that are blue right now, which I want my putting putters to be a different color. But I want Lunas for throwing, and I want them to be pink to go with the rest of my discs. Shut up. But I can't find them for less than $25 now, which is ridiculous.
I'll go run up to my store up here in spring and see if I can snag one for you.
Yeah, you can't. But
they
if
had
you
a
do,
whole stack when I was there. That
grab
was like
it.
a month ago, though.
So, speaking of the zone real quick, before we go, you mentioned that you might be getting that out of your bag. What's going on there?
Yeah, so I've had a zone in my bag for forever. I had an old white ESP one that for some reason I had been saying for like 2 years that I needed to replace it, and I haven't thrown it in probably 4, so I need to go see what the problem was. But the one that I bought was one of the big Z forces from the Ledgestone last year, and it's too overstable. It's too beefy. Like for whatever reason, I can't throw it the way that I could throw that old ESP one. And maybe I don't know. Maybe the ESP plastic was a little bit softer. It just seemed like the reason I fell in love with the zone is because I could throw it and I could just spike it into wherever I wanted to, and it would stay there, and it would allow me to have just like drop in putts. But the courses that I'm playing here, like there's not a whole bunch of holes where that like high spike hyzer comes into play. Like I need more of that just like straight to overstable putter control shot. And so I'm thinking about putting the Jawbreaker Banger GT into the bag because I had an ESP one a long time ago before they went out of production, and I loved that one for probably 4 or 5 years. And I just so happened to see earlier today that I have a Jawbreaker Banger sitting in the whole stack outside. So,
perfect.
What can it hurt? Tinker around a little bit.
Throw her in, man.
Yeah, I got a tournament coming up. Hopefully coming up in March. I'm gonna play that private course that I was telling you about here in the area. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called like Oak Hill or Oak Grove or something like that. It's like a really well designed and taken care of HOA that has a disc golf course on it, and there's a tournament coming up later this month. And then I've got the doubles tournament that I'm playing in a couple weekends here with a buddy of mine down here. We all went to the same high school, and so yeah, you know him too, Paul.
Small world, yeah.
He moved down here.
Not Paul Macbeth, for those of you watching. Not Paul Ewberry.
Nope, not that one either. But
bummer.
So we're gonna hopefully tear it up on the Carback Brewing Company doubles tournament coming up here pretty soon down here in the Houston area. So
you'll just get some beer and it'll be good.
Yeah, and a free disc. It'll be a good Sunday afternoon.
Sweet.
So, and you got that Sleepy Hollow tournament coming up?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's on the docket. I'm just not fired up about playing in snow and ice, and
I get it.
My wife could be going into labor. I mean, she's due a month from today, so at really any time. But I'm not thinking it'll happen on the 9th, but I might use that as an excuse for Dan to say. Because I don't want to admit that I don't want to play in the snow. I don't want to pay to go play in the snow. Man. I don't want to drive an hour away to go play in the snow all day and not do well. Because it's a B tier. I've got realistic expectations. I'm not going to win. I'm just out there just throwing discs around. I can go do that in my yard. But if it's going to be a nice day, I'll play. But we'll see.
Fair enough.
Well,
a little teaser of next week. We've got a female disc golfer coming on the show next week. Her name is Heather Wyatt, and she is sponsored a all-female league down here in the Houston area. Ran into her at the course the other day, had a nice conversation with her. So she seems really cool, and she's definitely getting involved in the local community here. So we're going to talk to her a little bit about that. That'll be next week. But until then, I think we just we say thanks again to Scott and FlighTowel.com. And to Dan for coming on, and that'll be
go get a towel. Use that promo code.
Yeah, promo code DiscGolfCentral.
All caps.
Yeah, all caps, and you can get 20% off your order from now until Friday at midnight. So pretty cool. We'll drop that in the description too. We'll probably pump that out on Instagram tomorrow. But yeah, appreciate having him on, and good stream.
Rock on.
See you later, buddy.
See ya.